tough guy Mike Tyson comes out when it's not necessary to come out, I'm always in handcuffs. And it's unfortunately I have to fight and be that guy. I wish I could stop that guy. That guy haunts me.
Mike Tyson just delivered a brutal verbal smackdown to Jake Paul, and it's not something you'll forget. The usual drama around their fight has dragged on, and let's be real, the hype is fading faster than Jake's last win. Delays keep piling up, with Jake throwing out accusations of bribery, steroid use, and even rumors of cancelling the fight altogether. Fans are growing impatient, wondering how much longer this circus can last before it collapses entirely. It's clear the tension between these two has reached a breaking point, and Tyson isn't holding back anymore. Something absolutely insane just happened. Mike Tyson, the man, the myth, the legend, has lost it on Jake Paul. Let's be honest, Jake's antics are exhausting. It's like he wakes up every day asking, "How can I be extra today?" But here's the thing, no one, and I mean no one, is on Mike Tyson's level. Sometimes I think, Tyson, man, you've got nothing to prove. Focus on your health and forget about this YouTube boxer's daily drama. But then again, imagine someone challenging your skills, dignity, and experience. You'd want to set the record straight, right? Tyson's no different. He's not the type to sit back and let Jake Paul's stunts go unchecked. He's ready to defend his legacy, and Jake's antics have pushed him to a point where staying quiet just isn't an option anymore. Let's not forget, Jake Paul begged for this fight, and now he's dipping into the murky waters of strategic cheating. Classic Jake. But let's rewind a bit to the Mike Tyson we all knew. The beast in the ring, the guy who wasn't just beating opponents, but crushing souls. Tyson hung up his gloves after his 2005 match against Kevin McBride, but it wasn't the grand finale we all expected. At 38, his ferocity had dimmed, and that final fight wasn't the mic drop moment we imagined for such a legend. Still, even legends need a break. With a legacy packed with epic victories and controversies, Iron Mike was ready to step back, and who could blame him? Fast forward to 2020, and Tyson decided to dust off his gloves for a charity exhibition match against Roy Jones Jr. If you asked Joe Rogan, though, the whole thing seemed a bit fishy. He even hinted it might...
Roy Jones fight, they made an agreement not to punch in the head. I'm pretty sure. Because I watched that fight carefully, many times, and it never looked like he was targeting Roy's head. Which makes sense why Roy agreed to do the fight.
Have been a rainy day move, a way for Tyson to test the waters without going full throttle in the ring. Honestly, even at 55, Tyson still had moves that made us all feel nostalgic, a reminder of why we fell in love with boxing in the first place. Then, of course, there's everyone's favorite, Jake Paul. Yes, pun intended. Jake's been making waves, but not because he's out here knocking out pro boxers. Instead, he's punching his way through internet fame, trash-talking like he's got a quota to fill. His journey from YouTube star to boxer has been one wild, controversial ride, with victories mostly against influencers or retired athletes. So yeah, he's more controversial than credible, but you've got to admit, it's entertaining to watch. And how does Jake handle the constant accusations? Like water off a duck's back, he...
We're living in. That's what I'm saying. It sucks. It's so bad.
Misinformation and disinformation on the internet right now is rampant.
Because nobody has the intellect to be able to form...
reflects and acts unfazed. You might be wondering, if Mike Tyson knew Jake's reputation was less than stellar, why step into the ring with him at all? Well, Tyson's decision wasn't just about proving he could still take on a younger fighter. Nope, this was about something deeper. Defending the sport, his legacy, and setting the record straight with a new generation watching closely. Tyson wanted to remind everyone what real boxing is all about. Not the YouTube hype, not the drama, but actual skill. He aimed to show that boxing is still a sport, not just a platform for internet clout. Meanwhile, Jake Paul's hype machine was in overdrive as usual. This guy knows how to throw out some wild claims, but calling himself the future of boxing and declaring he'd retire the legendary Iron Mike Tyson. That's like a toddler waving a stick at a battle-hardened superhero, declaring war. You could practically hear the collective eye roll from the boxing community. Some chuckled, others shook their heads, and everyone else grabbed popcorn, waiting to see if Jake could back up his bold talk. Jake Paul's mouth had always been his greatest weapon, but now people wondered...
Take us to South. Oh no. God.
if this was just another episode of his internet trash talk. You've got to give him credit for his confidence, even if it's completely misplaced at times. But it wasn't just about Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul anymore. The integrity, honesty, and fairness of the sport was in question. Jake, who was once flying high on his controversial rise in the boxing world, now had a huge question mark hanging over his head. Known for never missing an opportunity to run his mouth, he suddenly found himself backpedaling, retreating, or trying to avoid something. He shrugged off Tyson's accusations, calling them baseless, and played the "I'm the victim" card. But by then, the damage was already done. Tyson's words carried a lot more weight than Jake's protests, and the boxing world wasn't rushing to defend him. Instead, fans and critics alike began questioning if all Jake's claims were really just smoke and mirrors, deceptive tactics. Muscle and stamina with a little help behind it. Yeah, we're talking steroids and performance-enhancing drugs. Not exactly breaking news today, but let's be real for a second. Imagine busting your tail in the gym, day in and day out, sweating buckets, doing it the hard way, no shortcuts, no performance-enhancing magic. Then you find out your opponent's been juicing up. It's like you're playing a fair game, and they've got cheat codes. It's not just frustrating, it's infuriating. One of the biggest moments in this circus came when Tyson hit up the Joe Rogan Experience podcast on July 28, 2024. Tyson, being Tyson, didn't hold back. He spilled the beans, and then some. It was a wild ride. In his usual candid fashion, Tyson admitted to using DMT. Yep, you heard that right. As part of his training regimen.
I did this DMT stuff,
Right.
and I used
For the uninitiated, DMT isn't exactly your standard pre-workout supplement, making the revelation even more jaw-dropping. Tyson's honesty left fans and critics alike buzzing. DMT isn't your typical pre-workout, it's a psychedelic that can have you seeing galaxies, hearing colors, and questioning the meaning of life. But Tyson didn't turn to DMT for a quick boost in the ring. He sought something deeper. He wanted to reconnect with himself and drop the mental baggage. As Tyson put it, "I did this this DMT stuff, and I just lost that weight." Yes, he's referring to the venom from the Colorado River toad. Tyson's out here using nature's own psychedelic, not for performance, but to clear his mind and find balance. Tyson's use of DMT wasn't just a fitness gimmick. It was therapy to get his mind and body back into peak condition. This wasn't about quick fixes, it was a spiritual journey, shedding mental cobwebs and getting fit in a way that would make your yoga teacher jealous.
I just don't know what happened. I just said, I'm going to do this.
Meanwhile, Jake Paul's over there with his alleged shortcuts, pumping up with who knows what. While Tyson's on a natural high, Jake seems stuck in the world of synthetic boosts. In classic Tyson fashion, he didn't sugarcoat anything. He openly admitted it. That's Mike Tyson for you. Honest, quirky, and completely unfiltered. He's out here talking about toads and psychedelic enlightenment, all while still managing to terrify anyone considering stepping into the ring with him. Tyson's whole approach is about holistic improvement. Mental clarity, physical readiness, all achieved naturally. No cheats, no shortcuts, just raw, unfiltered preparation. On the other side, you've got Jake Paul, seemingly relying on quick fixes rather than the old-school.
What are you eating?
Raw meat.
Seriously, Mike, you're eating raw meat? Are you swallowing it, or remember you used to spit that?
Warrior mindset Tyson embodies. Now, under a cloud of steroid allegations, this wasn't just a clash of boxing styles, it was a clash of ethics. Tyson focused on clean, natural preparation, while Jake Paul scrambled to shake off some very shady accusations. So how did Jake respond? Predictably, he went full defensive mode. He jumped on social media, calling the accusations a smear campaign and painting himself as the underdog being unfairly targeted by a legend. Jake's narrative? I'm just out here working hard, trying to make my mark, and Tyson's trying to sabotage me. He even cried, yes, cried about it, framing himself as the victim in what had quickly turned into a boxing soap opera.